Hi, team. My name is Jordan Scott. I'm an account manager here at NetBeez. And today I'll just be giving you a brief demonstration of NetBeez and our product and exactly what we are able to do to help you monitor your network. So to begin, we do monitoring from the end user perspective, and we do this by placing several dedicated sensors throughout your network and collecting information based upon tests that you set. So some of the hardware agents that we do offer to begin with is we have our FASTI agent based upon just the Raspberry Pi with our neat little custom casing and our cool little B sticker. This is good for 10/100 speeds. For the wireless, we simply just in a Wi-Fi dongle. It's be more specific, an ASUS AC56 to help connect to any SSIDs that you're looking to monitor. And for any Gigi speeds, we have a nice Gigi agent here. All of our hardware agents come pre-configured, so they will automatically be able to connect to your dashboard. We also have several other agents available, which I can go through when I go through the dashboard. So next, I'm going to share my screen here. So when you run all these tests on the agents, they pull back to the server, which can either be on-premise or in the cloud, as well as we can host that for you for an additional cost. And then they'll show up here. This is what we call the Buzz tab. This is just a general overview of your network here. You can see we can give you a star rating based upon any agent target or Wi-Fi instances. And what an incident is just a certain percentage of tests that are in an alert status. I can get into that a little bit more as well. Then we have here agent performance, which will just show you if any agents have a high amount of critical warnings or critical alerts. And it's all interactive as well, so you can highlight, you can see exactly which agents are underperforming and then dig a little deeper, as well as then target performance. It will show you if there's any specific targets that have a higher latency than expected. Then below here, it will show you if there's any agent or target incidences. Like I mentioned, it's essentially just if a certain percentage of tests are over the threshold that you set. So here you can see for the ping test, the threshold was 80%, but the 100% of the ping tests are triggering the alerts. So we can get into it a little bit more. Here is our list of agents. We have two different views. We have a list view, which will show you, we'll have if there's any agent incidences, they will rise to the top. And then we also have a thumbnail view. As you can see, it's pretty intuitive and pretty simple. Green means good, red means bad, yellow means that there's some sort of issue. So just each agent also then has an icon to symbolize what type of agent it is. So you can see here's the FASTI that we discussed before, the Gigi, and the wireless. In addition to those agents, we also have a cloud agent, which gives you an external perspective to have something to compare to your network. We have a virtual agent that typically is placed within a data center to test throughputs from your remote site back. And then in addition, what's not seen here, we also have software agents available for you to be able to upload on your own hardware, as well as then we can run agents on any Cisco ISRs. So what you see here for each agent, we can dig a little bit deeper. You can go into the Wi-Fi. All the agent interfaces are fairly the same. The Wi-Fi is a little bit different just because it has the wireless tab, but and when you click into each agent, it will show you the tests that are being ran over the agent. If there are any issues, like I mentioned, green means good, red means bad, yellow means there's some sort of issue. So you can click on the yellow box. You can see a quick view of how the test results are. But then you can actually go into the historical data. So if somebody complained, maybe in a different time zone on a different day, you can go back and you can see exactly how the test results were responding at the time of the complaint. In addition to that, so you can see anything with a color means that there's a test being ran. Anything grayed out means that that test isn't running. Each agent also has an interactive console, so you're essentially able to SSH directly into that console and be run any type of custom commands or Linux scripts that we don't run, so that you can also so then instead of having to deal direct with the end user, you can just simply run any sort of test through here and then try to figure out what the issue is. So in addition to those statistics for the wireless, we also have a Wi-Fi tab here. We'll be doing some sort of passive monitoring where we're able to show you the TX rate, RX rate, link quality, signal strength, bit rate, and then also monitor the channel and BSSID. For this as well, we also have the historical data, so you can go back in time to see if there's any sort of issues, maybe a poor link quality or signal strength, and maybe that's why, but maybe it's self-corrected, but that's when the user had actually logged the complaint. And then we are actually in the process of beta testing SSID hopping, which I can show you in just a moment. So you can see here, currently now we're only able to monitor one SSID at a time, but within our next release coming in late November, we will then also have the ability to monitor multiple SSIDs. Next we have here is the targets tab. Targets is essentially any sort of mission critical applications or servers, anything with a URL or IP address. You can click in. Let me find a good one here. Salesforce. This is a commonly used application that we use internally. We can show all the tests that are being ran towards this target. So for ping tests, you can click in. You can see the average performance of the test. We can then actually click on multiple agents to get a side-by-side view of how your different sites are reacting to these tests. Next, we have our Wi-Fi tab. This is a new feature that we had in our most recent release. This is just an easier way to help monitor your SSIDs. So what you would do is you would add your Wi-Fi network, type in the SSID description. We have a couple different security types that you can choose from. So then you would have to input any certificates or private keys. And then you would simply choose which agents you want to monitor that SSID. And from that point, you're good to go. And then if there's any issues with that Wi-Fi, an incident would appear to alert you that, hey, a couple of the agents are having an issue on this SSID. This is something that you want to check out. So then when you go into the Wi-Fi network, it will show you all the agents that are actually on that SSID, and then give you just some insights into how the link quality, signal strength, bit rate, and channel of them. So you can also then filter by agent performance. So you can see here there's one agent that has a lower link quality, and you can essentially just dig a little bit deeper and see how many alerts, what is going on, and get a better insight into what the issue actually is. So in addition to the ping, DNS, HTTP, and trace route, we actually also offer some scheduled tests in the form of iPerf, speed test, and VoIP. If you're not familiar with these tests, iPerf, we run two different types. One, it'll send through a specific amount of bandwidth, and then we'd be able to track the packet loss and jitter. That is a UDP iPerf test, which you can see here. You can then go back and look at historical data to get an idea, if a ticket came in, to see exactly what the jitter and packet loss was around that time. And then we also have a TCP, which essentially just checks to see how much bandwidth is available. This is what typically will be used when a user inputs a virtual agent into the data center to be able to check from the remote sites back to the data center to see how much throughput is available. And same just with the UDP, you can go back in time, you can see exactly how much bandwidth was available at certain times. To schedule any of these tests, it's fairly simple. You just simply choose which agent you want to run the test from, what agent you want to run the test to, you configure the test, and then you schedule. We suggest that the most frequent that you run these tests is about once every 10 minutes, just because you don't want to overload the agent, as well as when these tests run, they pause the ping, DNS, HTTP, and traceroute tests so that there are no false positives. Next, we have the speed test. In our most recent release, we also implement a couple other types of speed tests. But you can see here, we'll show you the download, upload, and latency. You can see just general overview of how all the tests are being ran, but you can dig a little bit deeper and look at a specific agent to see the test results at a specific time. To create a new one, you just simply choose which agents you want to run the test on. You can then choose what type of speed test you like to run. So we have basic UCLA speed test, which would be the same if you went to speedtest.net. You don't have to fill in any specific UCLA server. It will automatically connect to the nearest server. You can then run an NDT speed test as well as a fast.com, and then you simply schedule. And then lastly, we have VoIP testing. This can run from agent to agent. For this, we are able to give you a MOS score, jitter, packet loss, and latency. Again, it's fairly simple. We just simply you choose what type of VoIP codec you would like to run, and then simply we shoot that from one agent to another agent, and then you schedule. So we have a couple different codecs available. You show what server port you like to run it through, and then schedule. And then on this test tab, we also have what we like to call grid view available. This is just a good way to get an overview of your network. Essentially, these are all the ping tests being ran. Essentially, if there's any red or yellow going horizontally, it's a network issue. If there's anything going vertically, it's most likely an application issue. And this as well, most everything on our dashboard is interactive. So you can click, you can look at the views side by side to try to get a better idea of what exactly is going on. And we have this grid view available for ping, DNS, HTTP, and traceroute. Next, we have our ad hoc testing. With this, you can just run, if you don't want to set up any scheduled tests or be running to any targets, or maybe there was a target that end user was having issues with that isn't already set up, so you just want to run a one-off, you can go in here and you can run an ad hoc test of any of the tests that we offer. Next, we're able to run several different types of reports based upon the tests that you've seen that I was showing off in the past. You can just do a general network status report. You can do reports based upon agents, targets, and scheduled tests. So it's all very customizable. And then you can save these reports, have them emailed to you on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis. And then you can export to a PDF. So this is a great thing for if you need something to show either your higher ups, if somebody is continuously complaining about something, you're able to export this information, show them, and just say, hey, here's actually what's going on. Here, for instance, here's the agent availability. Here's the upload download speeds at that location. And these are actually how many critical alerts and performance alerts that have been going on at that location as well. And here, again, it's very customizable. So you can include and exclude whatever agents and targets that you like. Lastly, the alerts tab here, it's just a general overview of all the alerts that have appeared. The one benefit about this is that you can actually click on the Actions tab and it will take you to the time of the alert so you can see exactly what's going on. And then for the ping DNS, HTTP, and traceroute, you can actually export that data to a CSV file. Some other things I'd like to highlight real quick on the dashboard. Here we actually have a quick link to our online documentation, which will take you to essentially just frequently asked questions, some more technical information about how to figure out, set up, and some of these tests, alerts, how to configure everything, etc. You can also then quickly contact support. We also have this neat little chat bubble here where you can just create a new conversation, reach out to somebody, and then somebody on the other end will get back in touch with you and then relay you to the best person to help you out. Now to dig a little behind the scenes into some settings, we have different user licenses available for read-only, read-write, and admin. You can customize the retention period of the data that you choose. This will all be based upon your server size as well. We do have API keys available, so if you have another network monitoring solution and you want to aggregate all this data into a third-party application, you can. We then also have integrations with different ways to notify you in forms of PagerDuty, Slack, and Splunk. And then we can also alert you via SMTP notifications, SNMP notifications, and syslog. So if there's an issue, we will find you and we will let you know. And then lastly, we have our anomaly detection center here, where you can customize the different types of alerts. We have 3 different types of alerts: typical up-down. We have performance baseline, which takes the average over a certain amount of time, and then if it falls below that average, you would receive an alert. And then we have performance watermark, where essentially you set the standards, and if it falls below those standards, you would receive an alert. Those are good for any type of SLAs that you have in place. And then lastly, this is where you would configure the incidents. So you can set that threshold of where you would want to receive a notification in regards to if 30, 40, 90% of the ping tests are in an alert status, you would receive an incident notification. So that is just a high-level overview of NetBeez and our solution here. If you do have any additional questions, you can feel free to reach out to us at www.netbeez.net. You can reach out to me personally at jordan.scott@netbeez.net. Or you can also go, we have tons of documentation available of different use cases that highlight all the different tests that we have available. We also have a blog section which can provide a lot of useful information, not just about NetBeez in general, but just in regards to maybe some of the tests that we run, different Linux information as well, and just network monitoring in general. If there's anything else that I missed, feel free to reach out. But thank you for your time, and I hope you have a great rest of the day. Thank you.